Hi, Joe Murphy. I'm back. I'm talking to you about questions today. I talked to you about questions yesterday. I talked to you about questions in a prior session. I'm going to talk to you about a unique way to ask questions. And I'm going to adjust the camera angle just slightly because I wrote this framework up on the board behind me. It's called Spin Question Technique, S-P-I-N. And it comes from Neil Rackham out of Huthwaite, a book called Spin Selling from the 1980s, late 80s, 88. Neil Rackham from Huthwaite did a lot of research with some major Fortune 50 companies as to how people buy products and services. And he noticed something that excellent salespeople did, the top 5% of these big corporations. They got the customer to talking and they sold to them in a consultative manner. Now, what has this got to do with employees? Everything. And what has this got to do with solving problems as a manager and leadership? Everything. I'm going to put it together for you today with spin selling, but I'm going to talk to you about it from a couple of different angles. Spin stands for situation. And if you got a pen and paper, you're going to want to take notes on this. This is very important. This made me a lot of money. It made me very successful in my prior career. It changed my life. And I taught this to every one of the sales organizations I've worked for, consulting organizations I've worked for. And it changed the way people approach clients. But it also will change the way you approach people. So SPIN stands for situation. That's the S. Problem. Okay, and then this is a little bit tricky. Okay, get ready. Implication. And then it gets a little bit more bumpy. Need. It's called need payoff. Okay, and I'm going to explain this to you in detail. So spin, situation, problem, implication, need payoff. So there's a series of questions that you ask and you go through this framework. You start off with the situation. Now, selling today, you can't go through the situation like you used to back in the 90s and early 2000s, because the questions that you're going to be asking a potential client, you should have that information and you should know their business cold, because you would ask questions like, how many employees do you have? What's your revenue each quarter? What's your profit look like? Well, all that information is available on the internet. So you got to be careful about that question. So if you're selling through spin questions today, you want to make sure that you're asking questions that's not available through either the internet or through their website. Now, for you as a leader and a manager, you're going to ask people, well, what's the situation? What is going on? And so you're getting a layout of the roadmap of what's happening in the environment so that you can see where the person is either navigating or not navigating. So situation, what's the situation? What's going on? Give me some data, give me some background, and you start there, because that starts the framework of the whole problem solving or coaching or whatever it is you're trying to get done, by trying to understand the universe, if you will. Now, the second aspect is, and again, this is not the problem, that's the situation, it's not about the problem, it's just general stuff. Tell me what's going on, and then you're going to get into the problem. What is the problem? What are the challenges you're facing? What is keeping you from going forward? Where are you stuck? What are we trying to accomplish? That's the problem, okay? So that's the second part. So what's the problem? Have we identified it? Have we written it down on a whiteboard? Because a whiteboard really clarifies things when you're defining the problem and you're making a problem statement. What often happens is people start fighting for the magic markers. No, that's not the way it works. No, the process works this way. And it's just the most magical thing. If you've ever seen that happen, people are taking magic markers almost from your hand. Let me have that. But it's good, because then you get to see how people think. Then the implication is you've got the problem. How is this affecting affecting you? How is it affecting the organization? What's the implication? What's the impact of this problem or challenge? Does it mean you're stuck and your employees are not getting what they need and the project's not moving forward? What is the implication? Another word would be ramifications. How is this affecting things? And then the last question is need payoff. And it's a little clunky, but they had to come up with an acronym. The need payoff basically says, so if we solve these issues, these challenges, what's the result going to be? In other words, what's the ROI? What's the real true impact that we have on the situation that we're discussing? I went through that really quick. It's a great book, but you have to read it today from a different kind of mindset, realizing it's a consulting book. It's a sales book, but it's a powerful process. It's probably the most powerful process in questioning skills I have ever seen. Spin. Situation, what's the situation? What exactly is the problem defined? What's the implication or ramifications of the problem and the impact, and who is it impacting? That's another critical thing. Who, what, when, how, or where. That's the implication. And then if we solve it, the need payoff. If we solve this, is this going to have the result and impact that we think it is? In other words, what's the ROI? If we solve this problem, is this going to resolve everything? I'm Joe Murphy, and I am here for your success. Thanks for watching.